Hi, he's Dustin. And today, on the barrel...
I wasn't even ready yet.
New Holland, beer barrel rye. Beer barrel.
See? And neither were you.
Bee barrel.
So what about it?
Well, that's all I memorized.
This is a rye, from what I've heard. Coming to us from New Holland Brewing / Distilling, I suppose. They're located in Michigan.
Holland,
In
Michigan.
Holland, Michigan, of course. So I've had this bottle for a while. I haven't had it in a long time, but I know it's a rye that is finished in Dragon's Milk Stout beer barrels. Does that sound familiar?
We had Dragon's Milk Stout at our wedding.
Not just Dragon's Milk Stout, serve yourself keg of Dragon's Milk and
Whoops-a-daisy.
I think the only person consuming it at the wedding was either you or a number of people whom
had no idea it was
drunkenness befell them.
No idea it was 11%. But I love stout barrel finished things in general. This is a bit unique because it's a rye. I don't see a ton of stout finished ryes. If you know of any, hop it in the comments below. I'd love to try all of them.
Just you.
We would love to try all of them. Both of us, together as one.
Without further ado,
Yes. I mean, you know, nothing spectacular about the bottle. It's a bottle of whiskey. On the front, beer barrel rye, American BBR white oak. Well, BBR is just beer barrel rye. Finished in oak beer barrels. It's interesting it doesn't specify stout beer barrels. I mean, Dragon's Milk is a stout. I know they make variations of it, but it's interesting that they wouldn't have stout anywhere in the bottle. It just says oak beer barrels. Okay. 44% alcohol by volume.
did you look up in advance if it was stout, or are you just making the assumption because you've only ever purchased a stout?
I'm just assuming at this point. Are you gonna
Beep, boop, 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 boop.
In the meantime, New Holland, it looks like, was established in 2005. On the back, it just says beer barrel rye, rested in American oak before finishing in Dragon's Milk barrels, but not necessarily stout. I could be completely wrong, in which case, we're shutting it down. Channel is decommissioned. It's all over. Thanks for watching.
I'm pretty sure it's just a stout, but if you know of another Dragon's Milk from New Holland that is not a stout, also let us know.
And also let us know if you want to subscribe by subscribing. If you subscribe, then we will know for sure.
Pretty standard.
Okay. Hey, a little synthetic cork on this guy.
Yep.
This felt like it was going to be very heavy just because this top part is sort of metal, but it wasn't. I mean, I wanted it to be at least like 57, 58 grams, you know? I don't know how much grams our weighing feels.
My glass is a little smudgy.
Pour a little bit here. Well, whose fault is that? Here we go. Here we go. So,
Ooh, it snaps on really nicely. 10 out of 10.
snap.
I already went in. Ooh, definitely like a yeasty, like a beer yeast almost.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah.
just like that, like, you know, a little fermented bread.
Like very faintly, not as strong, but a little bit like you're at a brewery and they are in the middle of like mashing. Like that scent, if you've ever been in a brewery while something is open and venting.
What is the alcohol volume here?
44.
Okay, I don't know why I coughed, so maybe I'm sick.
Ooh.
Smells pretty good.
Yeah, it's creamy. It's fruity. I was gonna say peach. It's not quite peach. It's almost like maybe a little bit of like pineapples and cream, or like apricot and cream.
I think I agree with you on the peach one. We just recently had that peach shake thing at Chick-fil-A,
Oh yeah.
and it just kind of reminds me of that. Super good.
There's a little bit of a tinge grassiness.
Yeah.
A little bit of a wet grass.
The bready,
situation.
like, beerness sort of went away for me after the first couple sniffs.
All right. Well,
But
let's
pleasant.
freaking see how it tastes.
Wow. Whoa. So much beer and bread, like as if I'm not a bread maker, but I do make this like beer cheese dip, and it's I'm not saying this is cheesy, but it reminds me of when I'm making the beer cheese dip and I pour a whole beer into the like cream cheese cheddar mixture and it starts bubbling and that smell that like wafts up. It's identical to that. So bready.
I also get, I don't know about you, I right away, and it lingered on after I swallowed, was sort of a weed, like...
Thank you for illustrating. Yeah, I could definitely see that.
If you've ever like eaten a gummy or a brownie with said leaves embedded in
edible marijuana.
It just has like a little bit of like a faint smell or a faint taste of the leaf.
It does. I'm gonna keep tasting it to see if I get something else, but this is one of the most unique things that you've ever put in front of me, I feel like.
Wow.
That is so much beer on the front, and I do like beer, so I like that. If you don't like beer, you might not be into this. Kind of like refreshing, like summery, like...
I'd say it's for sure as advertised. I mean, if I want something, it's called beer barrel rye, like...
Well, what's fascinating is Dragon's Milk, to me, I do not think of as refreshing. Like, it's a good beer. I can't personally drink it that much anymore. Like, I think in our youth, when we got married, I would have a glass of it. But now I wouldn't really, venture towards it. It's just a little bit stronger than I tend to drink my beer these days. But this is like beer. I do not get like barrel-aged stout necessarily.
Yeah, I don't either. It's not quite as strong like chocolate maltiness that I would regularly get from some stout finish whiskeys, but it adds for sure a present beer,
a very like
flavor.
Punchy, unique beer flavor.
I don't know that I'd categorize it as the stout coming through necessarily, like a dark malty, but maybe instead just like almost like a Belgian quad or something. I feel like like ale.
It's really good, and I can tell why it might not be for everyone. Like not everyone's probably gonna love that, or they're gonna wonder why it's so different and weird, but I love it for that.
Yeah, and you for sure know that it's rye too. I think that if this was blind, like if you had it in a lineup with just 100% straight rye, this would like throw you for a loop, I'm sure. But I could maybe mistaken this for a single malt of some sort, or just an American malt whiskey.
Like a little like the Black Butt.
Yeah, kind of similar to that, actually. I think that one had the more like chocolatey flavors to it, which I like more. But
I really like this. This is one of my favorite ones that you've decided to do.
Well, hot damn.
Really wild. And established in 2005, they're coming up on a 20-year anniversary, and I wonder if they're going to do something really cool.
I bet they are. Speaking of cool things that New Holland does, this, and I think they also have a beer barrel bourbon as well. And those two I think are regularly distributed, at least I'm in Minnesota, at least to like maybe the surrounding states around Michigan. But one thing that I cannot get in Minnesota is their Dragon's Milk Origin whiskey. They've now done like limited release barrel finishes of that, like honey, and I think they even did like an amberana and like some other things.
Everyone's doing an amberana.
Well, yeah.
I'm not gonna even say that because I actually really do like it.
I do too. I think it's a distillery exclusive though. I think you can only get that Dragon's Milk Origin whiskey at the distillery, maybe in some like surrounding stores. People from Michigan help me out, but that's one that I've never had, and I'm sure I'm gonna have to make a trip across the pond.
The back of their label is like, is that staves, like from a barrel?
Oh, on the label.
Barrel, yeah.
Yeah, I think that is supposed to
either
be
staves
some
or
charred,
just some kind of charred wood.
Some charred barrel staves on the old bottle there. That
the back of the label.
Let's see if it'll focus.
Oh my God, you're just.
Know. Did you guys see them?
Just go get this somewhere. It's really good. If you want something wild to have in your arsenal of just like things to try and taste and to really like when you're, especially, I feel like if you're entertaining, this would be a fun one to pull out as just a completely different palette.
And it's on the cheaper side. If I remember correctly, this is like under $40.
Well, we'll fact check that later.
I'm pretty sure. So, I mean, come on. What more do you want? $2 million?
Yes.
Well, that's going to be more expensive.
We need a bigger alcove. I saw somebody in the comments at one point put that they thought that we were filming this out of the back of like a trailer. That's how tiny this space is. And I don't blame you. It does look like that. This is in fact our home.
Maybe we, I was just going to say maybe we are. You'll never know.
No, I like to be honest with the peoples.
Okay.
Tune in next time when we try something else. That I don't know how we're gonna beat this one. Although I said that after the short barrel.
Really? I'm pretty sure we'll
short
easily.
Barrel.
Well, definitely.
Please do a stroke assessment on me.
Tune in next time when we learn how to. God, no, I can't fucking do it.
Next.
Oops, and